doing state championship broadcasts with me the last few years, which means he's not on the field coaching in state championship games. So I might have to fire him sometime soon. Get him back on the field, right? Next up, he's a Shreveport native. He moved to Mandeville, played basketball in Mandeville, and he graduated from St. Edward's University. He began his college coaching career as a volunteer assistant at Western Kentucky, and then gained international coaching experience in Qatar, Lithuania, Bahrain, China. He joined my friend Mike Girolando as his top assistant in 2011 at Loyola University, and then took over as head coach of the Wolfpack for 8 seasons. And he led my alma mater, Loyola, to the NAIA National Championship in 2022, and then moved on to serve as an assistant at Ole Miss, as well as at Texas Southern. He was hired as head coach as he came home of the Privateers earlier this year. UNO, by the way, opens its season November 5th at Kansas State. Please give a warm quarterback club welcome to University of New Orleans head basketball coach Stacy Hollowell. Stacy.
Ken, thanks for having us. For those of you in the room that haven't heard, I grew up in Mandeville, Louisiana, and lived down the street from, at the time, Tim Floyd, who coached at UNO, went on to coach the Chicago Bulls and the New Orleans Hornets. And so UNO, as a kid, was always a really special place for me. I went to camp, rode over with Coach Floyd when I was 12 or 13, and went to camp every year. And then went to the games, and back then it was Tony Harris, Irvin Johnson, Leonard Bennett, Luigi Dyer, Cass Clark, Melvin Simon, Darren Lesh. We could go on for forever talking about those guys. But so UNO's been a special place, and to be sitting in the same office that Tim Floyd sat in, and to be following in his footsteps to some degree. Tick Price, Joey Stiving, obviously Coach Girolando, who I worked for at Loyola. It's special. It feels like I was doing a press conference just the other day. It's crazy to think that it's been 7 months, but in those 7 months, it's been an absolute whirlwind. We had 17 days to put a team together. So we get the job officially May 1st, and the portal closed May 1st. And then the dead period started May 17th, so we had 2.5 weeks. Most of you know that my wife was diagnosed with cancer in March. So those first 17 days were Monday through Thursday visit, drive to Houston, at her chemo on Friday, back on Sunday, and do it again on Monday. So we did that for 2.5 weeks, got the family here, put a staff together, and before you know it, we were playing Southern Miss last Tuesday, I guess it was. And it was good for us to kind of get on the floor and see our team against someone else. We had practiced through the summer, and I guess we had 40 or so practices before we played, and was pleasantly surprised. I think we were up late in the game and had a real chance to win it. Final score was 105-102 in overtime, so we're putting some points on the board, playing with a little pace and some energy. And then we went to Sanford, played at Meridian Community College against Sanford on this past Saturday. And probably the best maybe scrimmage we could have had for our style of play. We can take their image and say, hey, look how hard these guys are playing compared to us, and I think we're going to be able to elevate our game because of that scrimmage. So really good past week for us. Like Ken said, we open at Kansas State on November 5th, going right to the fire. And then we have our homecoming November 9th, will be Saturday, November 9th, 4 o'clock against Troy. And we're excited about the opportunity to play at home in front of our fans, and would like your support and help in putting people in the seats. We then go to Pittsburgh the following week. We play in a 3-game MTE, games that we feel like will be really competitive and a chance for us to walk away with some wins. And then we get to come back on November 22nd, Mr. Harrison, play the Tulane Green Wave. I think that's a game that will be great for our city. Coach Hunter called me as I was walking on stage for the press conference and said that he would like to get that game going again. So we're excited about the opportunity to go play at Tulane on November 22nd. And speaking of being thrown to the fire, we've got Baylor, Iowa, Texas, LSU, and Vandy on the road right behind it. So all of you that have the SEC network, you'll have plenty of opportunity to watch us play. Big Ten network with Iowa. And then all of our other games will be broadcast on ESPN+. And then on January 4th, if we can maintain our sanity through that stretch, we'll have a 3-game homestand, and we'd love to have the city back in the arena and get it back to where the crowd and the energy was back in the late 80s, early 90s, when we were putting 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people in the arena. So I want to thank you for your support. We're excited about UNO basketball. We're going to put a product on the floor. It's going to be a whole lot of fun to watch, and looking forward to seeing you soon.